Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to drive through the town of Old Harbour, which is in St Catherine, Jamaica. And Old Harbour is the 8th most populated town in Jamaica. So as you can see, as we drive through, you're going to see a lot of activity, a lot of infrastructure like plazas, police station, post office. It's a major town in Jamaica. It also has some very large schools, so you're going to see a lot of children walking up and down on the road. So where we are now is in the center of the town. Now at this intersection, if we turn left, we would go to the highway, and if we turn right, we go back into the town center. Okay, so we're going to turn right and go back into the town. We're in the town, I mean the center of the town. So now Old Harbour was established when Jamaica was an English colony, so you can see the clock in the center of the town, which is a trademark of the English towns. Of course the clock doesn't work, but it's still a landmark in the center of the town. On the left is the BNS branch, and the NCB is beside it. And to the right, I'm not sure you can see it, but to the right is the police station. Now if we turn left at this intersection, we would go on to Old Harbour Road and go towards Maypen. If we turn right, that's Old Harbour Road, and that takes us to Spanish Town. So before the highway was built, this Old Harbour was a major town you had to pass through to get into Spanish Town and Kingston. But since the highway was built, a lot of persons use the highway instead, because there is a lot of traffic going through this town, and especially on a Sunday, the traffic, or not really a Sunday, but any afternoon, the traffic it's terrible. So a lot of persons prefer to use the highway as a bypass route. Now Old Harbour should have a bypass. Like Spanish Town, you have the Spanish Town bypass road. A lot of the major towns, even in Montego Bay, they're building a bypass road now, because the towns have gotten so, I guess you could say, congested. A lot of activity, and as you can see, persons just stop anywhere. They don't care about blocking up the traffic on the road. So Old Harbour needs a bypass, so you can drive and you don't have to come through the town. So this is Old Harbour Road that runs right through Old Harbour. It runs all the way back to Spanish Town actually. So on the right is the Rubis gas station, on the left is plazas. So if we continued on this road, we would end up in Clarendon, and more specifically Maypen. As we said, this was the main road. Well, this is the main road, but this was the main thoroughfare if you're driving from Kingston or Spanish Town on the south coast of Jamaica. This would have been the main road, or the only road you could use back in the day, but we have the highway now. Alright, we're not going to go much further. This is just some residential areas. We're going to turn around and go back through the town and head back to the Spanish Town area. So on the left is a gated community, on the right is another community. And this area has really, I guess you could say, expanded. It has really been developed. There are a lot of very popular gated communities down here, especially with the highway. It makes access to these areas so much easier. So you find that persons can live here and reach Kingston in 15-20 minutes. It's not like you have to contend with the traffic and leave your house 2 hours earlier or an hour earlier. So it has really made a difference. And it has eased up a lot of the usage, you could say, or a lot of the traffic on a road like this, leading into Old Harbour. It has been raining every evening in Jamaica for the last week. It's forecasted that it should be like this until the weekend, so if you see the wipers coming on every now and then, it's because of the rain. It has really slowed us down in making these videos, but we're still making some. As you can see, it's a bit overcast now. Alright, so we're back into the town of Old Harbour. And Old Harbour is expanding nicely. It has a lot of activity. And as we said, it's the 8th largest town in Jamaica. And Old Harbour is in Spanish Town. Spanish. Old Harbour is in St Catherine, and it's right before when you're traveling into Kingston or into Spanish Town. Old Harbour is the town you get to right before Spanish Town. And Spanish Town, is the largest town outside of Kingston, and it was the capital of Jamaica once, and it is the oldest town in Jamaica. So Old Harbour I think there was a port down here once. So the goods would come in through the port in Old Harbour, because there's Old Harbour Bay. It's a fishing village now, but a lot of the goods coming into the country used to come in by the Old Harbour Bay area. So this is the heart of Old Harbour, or the city centre, as you would say. Now on the right is a bus park. It was newly built, but where you see the buses now used to be the market. But I don't know if you guys saw that motorbike man riding very reckless through the town. Very reckless. Alright, so we just passed the KFC on the left, and this is the Juicy Beef on the left. We're heading back towards Spanish Town now. And as you can see, there's a lot of traffic, especially in the opposite direction coming into the town. And I know a lot of road work is going on, but this route between Spanish Town and Old Harbour, especially as you're getting into the town, this road needs to be expanded into a 4-lane road, because this is not even peak hour traffic yet. So can you imagine between like 5 and 7? Now if you take the highway, it's a toll road. So this road is the main road, that is the main non-toll road then. So it's a very busy road. So this section leading into the town should be a 4-lane road. I mean, the space is there. You can see the shoulder on the left and the right. So this could easily be converted into a 4-lane road. But as we've said in previous videos, the government is really doing a good job in fixing up these roads. So I'm sure when they're able to, or when the funds become available, they'll do it. It's probably not a main priority now, because there's the highway as another route, but eventually they're going to need to sort that part out. Alright, so we're leaving Old Harbour now, going into an area called Church Pen, which is just on the outskirts of Old Harbour. So to get from Old Harbour to Spanish Town, You go through an area. When you leave Old Harbour, you go through an area called Church Pen. Then you go through Gutters. Then you go through Innswood, and then Willowdean, and then you reach Spanish Town. Now all of these are districts, basically small. Now I wouldn't consider them towns. They're more like districts, and they have a large population, but nothing close to like a town. So but because this was the main road, you find that these areas, you have infrastructure built up, you have large residential communities, so they're very popular areas, especially Gutters, but we'll point them out as we pass through. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day.